What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. We're going to be discussing some more Manchester United transfer news. And today has been a pretty good day to be a Man United fan, if you are to believe all the reliable stories, the reliable rumours about transfers in and out of Manchester United. We're going to go into Jadon Sancho, and we'll probably do a full video once that transfer is done and dusted and signed, sealed and delivered. It's looking very, very certain that he's going to be joining Manchester United. All it's really taken now is a payment structure to be arranged with and agreed with Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are sticking very much to their £109 million price tag, and Manchester United are willing to pay the 109, but it looks like they're going to want to do it in installments. Partly maybe some add-on fees, etc., etc. So they have to iron out the finer details of that. There's no issue between the player and the club. Jadon Sancho wants to come. Man United want the player. 5-year deal is on the table. That's not going to be any issue. Just about the clubs deciding and agreeing a payment structure for the player. But today, right now, we're talking about things happening over in Italy regarding Alexis Sanchez and slightly Chris Smalling. But the big news, Alexis Sanchez, he is done. It's finished. It's over. Alexis Sanchez, the saga that has dragged Manchester United down for the last couple of years. I mean, is that our worst ever signing? Is that our worst ever signing? I'm going to get into your comments, Jordan Brown. I'm going to get onto that. But Alexis Sanchez was signed on a free transfer, a swap deal. With Mkhitaryan, arguably the worst swap deal in history of swap deals, because it didn't work out for Arsenal. They're getting rid of him on a free. Didn't work out for us. We're getting rid of him on a free. But we've already wasted about 30 million on him. 2 years at the club plus half the fees, half the wages we were paying when he was over on loan at Inter Milan. It's cost us a hell of a lot of money, and he ain't delivered anything. And we had to get him off because the wage structure, which is one of the main reasons why Man City did not follow through the transfer. Once we came on the table and it created a bidding war between Man United and Man City, and the wages that Sanchez could demand were much higher, Man City pulled out and said, we sign him on those wages that Man United are offering, it's going to mess up and create disharmony within their squad. We went through with it, and it ain't worked out. Now, I'm not saying it was a bad transfer on the face of it, because at the time, all Man United fans, including myself, when he did that announcement video, we were like, Alexis Sanchez, we finished second that season. Alexis Sanchez is going to take us back to the top. It's a transfer that we had to get, because if Man City signed him, I believe it could have worked out under Pep Guardiola. If Man City signed him, they would have got pulled further away. They would have pulled further away from Manchester United at the time. So I was like, you know what? It's a lot of money, a lot of wages, but we need these as world-class forward to close this gap to Man City. I mean, it's gone the complete opposite direction. Very, very disappointing, but we have to get rid. We have to get rid. And even though I'll read the tweet that Fabrizio Romano put out exactly, he says, a total agreement has been reached between Inter and Manchester United on a permanent deal. Inter will not pay any fee to Man United, will join for free, and Inter will take charge of his full wage. Sanchez will earn €7 million per season as the Inter player. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I need to check exactly, because I got contrary reports. One was the 7 million was his net fee, and the other was his gross. So I need to double check that. But as far as Man United is concerned, that's 20 million, about 20 million per year, basic. So that's before he's kicked the ball that we're getting off our wage bill, plus an annual £1 million signing on fee, like loyalty bonus, so to speak, every time that he remains at the club in the summer. We're saving nearly 50 million, nearly 60 million probably, over the next 2 years that he had run on his deal to go, by getting rid of him this summer, even for free. So yeah, we didn't get a transfer fee for it. It was only going to be something around 10 to 12 million pounds, maybe 15 at the most. But to save or to not spend 50 to 60 million, that frees up a lot of possible transfer fee and of course wages if we're trying to attract certain players. As I mentioned, obviously Jadon Sancho is the one in the offing. But we had to get rid of him because he was on what 400,000 a week basic. Any other player, whether it's David De Gea, Paul Pogba, you're trying to get him to sign contract, he's the barometer now. Well, what has Sanchez done? Why is Sanchez earning that much? If he's earning that much, I have to earn that much. And it played its part when we signed David De Gea to his new deal. David De Gea at the time was performing much better than Alexis Sanchez. I mean, nearly everyone in the squad was. So David De Gea's like, well, if he's earning 400,000 a week, I should be earning 300,000 a week at least. And he got 300,000 a week. Of course, we're in negotiations with Pogba. I'm sure that Alexis Sanchez contract has gone onto the table and they've spoken about it. Luckily, he's off. He's off now. So that's no longer the maximum wage at the club. Well, of course, Pogba's going to be like, well, whoever the highest earner is, I need to be at least matching him because I'm arguably the best player. I'm probably bringing in the most revenue in terms of sponsorship, shirts, shells, etc., etc. But it has that whole structure, that whole deal of Alexis Sanchez just messed up completely the wage structure and the harmony at the club. So much so, I think it was at a pre-season where he got into a fight with or some kind of training down bust up with Mason Greenwood, and it was at that point that Solskjaer said he's got to go. And of course, there's people who, out there who weren't sure about Solskjaer in terms of how, and I titled this how I did on purpose. Cutthroat Solskjaer is. We call him the babyface assassin when he played for Man United. He's an assassin as a manager. He doesn't take any crap. Whether it's the right or wrong decision, neither here nor there. He's got an idea of what he wants in a player in terms of their character. And if that ain't it, he's ostracizing you, whether you're out the squad, whether you get the armband taken from you, whether you're dropped from the team, or whether you're completely loaned out, sold, in the case of Sanchez and Lukaku. There's a comment here from Jordan Brown. So Sanchez had to happen. Alexis and Lukaku never wanted to play for OLE. Well, you say that, but then look at Lukaku first and foremost. Lukaku's issue was that Solskjaer was playing him right wing. He wanted things from Lukaku that Mourinho weren't demanding in terms of the pressing and the running. Mourinho was playing Lukaku as a target man. He was overweight. He couldn't give Solskjaer what Greenwood can, what Martial can, and what Rashford can. He was playing him out wide because he said, I don't want you as my striker because you are not the link person. You can't hold up the ball in the way that I believe Martial can. And you can't link the play. His technical ability is not on the same level. So he's basically playing him out wide to run the channels. And he did well in that position. But Lukaku's like, listen, I'm a big man. I'm a striker. I play striker all my life. I don't want to stay as a striker. So, of course, Solskjaer could have buckled. Said he's a 70 million pound guy. Let me keep him and try and keep him happy. Solskjaer said, no. You don't want to do what I'm asking. I'm gonna get rid. He didn't even come on tour in pre-season. Alexis Sanchez, as I mentioned, he had a bust up with Mason Greenwood, the youth that Solskjaer's trying to bring through. He's not performing in a certain way. He was dropped from the side before he decided to leave. He wanted to leave because Solskjaer wasn't making him the most important player. He wasn't guaranteeing a first choice space in Manchester United's first 11. So they wanted to leave as a basis of Solskjaer's actions. Solskjaer basically puts out the olive branch to say, this is what I want, can you do it? And either you can't do it and you get rid, or you refuse to meet those standards and you ask to leave. So yeah, both of them asked to leave, but only because Solskjaer demanded something of them that either they couldn't deliver or they weren't willing to deliver. So he's cutthroat because he's not there to pander to anyone's whims. He's not there to make anyone feel bigger or better than the club. This is Manchester United. You are a Man United player. We don't play for you, you play for us. And that's why he's cutthroat. He don't have to have directly driven Sanchez to the airport and put him on a private jet, but he created an environment where a Sanchez Lukaku could not survive. And that's why I say he's cut through. But yeah, for me, he had to go. He had to go. And as I say, it frees up so much wages, possibly 50 to 60 million. 50 to 60 million over the next two years that his contract had to run. And I ain't got nothing against him. I hope he has a good career. He's a good player. He was a quality player at Arsenal, very good at Barcelona, always been good for Chile. Didn't work out at Man United. And he's done well so far at Inter. I think he's got about 10 assists and maybe 4 or 5 goals or so. He had a few injury issues already this season, but the back end of the season he's done well. So I got no hard feelings to him. It just didn't work out for us, and it's time to cut the losses. And Solskjaer is cutting the losses of a lot of players. Fellaini. We've seen how Lingard and Pereira have been pretty much completely out of the first 11 reckoning anyway, let alone the squad, once Bruno came in. He knows what he wants. He knows what a quality Man United player is in ability and character. And he's weeding out those who don't fit that and trying to bring in and integrate those who do. And, you know, moving on, going on to someone like a Sancho, I hope that his ability, of course, and his character fits seamlessly into what Solskjaer is looking for. Young, hungry players that we can mold to play the Man United way and to bring success back to Manchester United. Staying in Italy, Chris Smalling, a player that I've always liked. A player that guys, I mean, I'm not going to repeat it, but I said, how is that? Sorry, Ola Bimbe says, how is that cut through? He was leaving anyway. He's got 2 years left on his contract. If Solskjaer wanted to keep him, he could keep him. The power in our hands. He has 2 years left on his contract. So he's only leaving because Solskjaer and the board are willing to let him go. He hasn't forced to move out. Solskjaer made a reference, I was going to say earlier, Solskjaer made a reference in for about March, April, just before lockdown was coming back. I thought it must be about April, May, sorry. And he goes, so Sanchez could have a future here. I said at the time, he just saying that. Same thing he said with Lukaku during the summer last year. Lukaku's still our player, he just got a bit of an injury. He can't come out and say, no, we don't want him, we need to get rid, because it just lowers his value. Now, in the end, he went on a free transfer. But we obviously wanted a fee at a time and we couldn't agree a fee with Inter. And Solskjaer just said, you know what? If it means that I don't get an extra 10 million in my transfer budget, I don't care. He's got to go. And Ed Wood have got rid for him. If Solskjaer wanted to keep Sanchez, he would still be here. He's got 2 years left on his contract. It is the manager's decision why he has left the club. That's the point I'm making. But yes, as Silver Spring says, he's been good for Inter, so it's good for all parties. So I got no hard feelings for Sanchez. I got no hard feelings. I'm thankful for Inter. Thank you very much, Conte and the board. Even though you're having your own in personal issues, I'm happy. Thank you. I'm happy that he's done well. When I see him doing well, I'm not like, ooh, he could be doing well for us. Let's bring him back. I'm like, no, thank God you're doing well, not to take him off our hands. So the fact that we were even paying part of his wages this season didn't sit with me. I wasn't happy. I was happy that he was gone, but I wasn't happy that we were paying his wages, and now he's completely rid of Manchester United wages and all, etc. But anyway, yeah, moving on, as I was trying to do, to Chris Smalling. Now, Chris Smalling is a player that I've always liked, to be honest. And I guess some people say, you don't know what you had until it's gone. Since Smalling's been gone, a lot of people have been saying, oh, he could be a better partner for Maguire than Lindelof. Some people even saying that it should be Lindelof, Smalling. That was a better partnership than what we have at the moment. Blah, 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 whatever it may be. But I've always been a fan of Smalling. On the ball, of course, he's terrible. He can't pass the ball out. He can't run with the ball. I understand that. And in the modern game, he will get found out, especially the way that we're trying to play by passing the ball out from the back. He will get found out. But as a defender, I think he will complement Maguire much more than Lindelof does. As good as we have been defensively, our record speaks for itself. As a defender, he's quicker, he's stronger, and he's more dominant in the air than Lindelof. All Lindelof really has over him, I would say, is on the ball. Possibly one-on-one, possibly. Lindelof's a pretty good one-on-one defender, to be fair. But he gets caught out in the air. He's not dominant enough. He's not strong enough. and he's not quick enough to recover. And if you've got a Lindelof and Maguire, it don't work out. But as it is anyway, Smalling had a good season over at Roma on loan. He wants to stay there, but Man United, like Sanchez, said basically, listen, you're only staying if the club agree a permanent fee. We're not doing no more loan thing with you or Sanchez. Your club has to agree a permanent fee. And of course, we've got the Europa League coming up, and they have to agree to extend the loan and put in a acceptable permanent bid for Man United to accept. Or Smalling has to come back. And as far as we're aware, they haven't put forward a bid, and Smalling hasn't been included in the Europa League squad for Roma, which means that he's going to be returned to Man United this month, very, very soon actually. And because Europa League starts on Wednesday, I believe, it will restart on Wednesday. So Smalling's going to be back at Man United. Now, whether or not that means back in the squad for the new season, or they will somehow agree another deal with another club or Roma, maybe they couldn't do it at the time, we'll have to wait and see. What it means for the Europa League, of course, that we're in, Roma's going to be slightly weaker, and Inter's going to be as strong by keeping Alexis Sanchez. Roma's on our side of the draw, so we couldn't meet them in the semis. They would have to get past Sevilla and I think Wolves, possibly. I think it's Wolves. They have to get past. And Inter Milan are on the other side of the draw completely, so we could meet them in the final. Let me just check the Europa League draw. So, of course, we're playing last. So the preview will be out tomorrow for that. Inter Getafe. Yeah, Roma versus Sevilla in the last 16. And then it will be Wolves in the quarterfinals if both teams get through. Just checking on those results. Oh, they haven't even played their first leg, so it's basically going to be a one-off tie between Sevilla and Roma, where they can meet Wolves or Olympiacos in the quarterfinals, and we could meet a Smalling-less Roma in the semi-finals. Of course, we could meet Sevilla, who have a pretty good record in this transfer window. In this competition. But yeah, so that's the main news coming out Italy today. Smalling looks set to return to Man United after the end of his loan from Roma. Sanchez is set to join Inter Milan on a permanent transfer. All Man United fans are happy right now. Inter Milan, I'm sure they're happy as well. And Sanchez and Solskjaer as individuals, I'm sure they will be happy. As I mentioned at the beginning, the other big news, arguably the bigger news today, is that Sancho is nearly done. I ain't preempting it. I'm not going to put out Sancho a signed video or anything like that until we get official confirmation from the club that a bid has been accepted, etc. And a video will be out for that. But I mean, we've already replaced Sanchez's goals with Greenwood ×3. People said, are we going to replace Lukaku's goals? I mean, both Martial and Rashford scored more goals this season than Lukaku did last season. 20+ goals in all competitions for both of them, with, of course, the Europa League still to go. And if we get Sancho, that forward line of Sancho, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood in the bank, Bruno and Pogba behind, we can do some damage. But as I said, we wait and see, make sure we get all the facts and official confirmation for that deal. And it can prove to be a very good couple of weeks for Manchester United, getting into the top 4, hopefully progressing far into the Europa League, hopefully winning it, and then making some moves in the transfer market. Chelsea have started, as we know already, with Werner, Ziyech, the Kai Havertz deal. It's funny because people always talk about Man United move slow, and I don't disagree with doing move slow, but many transfers are slow. The Timo Werner deal, Chelsea were speaking to him from like February times. Ziyech, they tried to sign in January, and they missed out, and that's why they got him after for the next season. Kai Havertz, we've been hearing those rumblings for a few weeks now, and he still hasn't signed. There's still no agreement between the two clubs, even though the player has expressed that he wants to join. So when you talk about these big money deals, you know, Kai Havertz is going to be something around 80 million. Sancho's going to be around 100 million mark. Probably more give than take. these deals take time to really get over the line. It's not going to be all right. Here's a suitcase of cash, take that, and we bring over the player. No, there's a lot to go through. So the transfer window is just open, 4 days in or so, maybe a week into the transfer window. So I'm very confident. I'm very calm as it stands. Of course, the sooner we can get this done, we can get some other deals. We've been talking about Gabriel from Lille. There's been talk about a left back from Monaco. Name slips from me at the moment. We obviously talk about Grealish, but that one's possibly a bit slim now because Villa stayed up. His transfer fee is going to be much higher. But I mean, with Sanchez leaving, maybe that free up some more funds. We have to wait and see. And I guess we have to wait and see exactly how much we're paying up front for Sancho once that deal is agreed. But that's it for today. That's the news from Italy regarding Manchester United. Let me know your comments below. Thanks for everyone watching. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and I will see you lot soon.